courage. We're not going to take this lying down.
This is for all of the women of color, and colorful people.
Now is the time for all of us to stand up and say, enough is enough.
I'm ashamed as a human being that we ignore their cries for help.
Women are in the world, and we will not be bullied.
Well, that was a wonderful way to end the 8th annual Women in the World Summit, because those three great powerhouse women, wow, they are such balls of fire. They get everybody stoked, ready to roll. I'm very proud to know those three women. They are amazing, and I loved having Rashida Jones here with us to moderate that. So that was so inspiring. I want to thank Becca Heller, Tamika Mallory, and Linda Sansor. It was just great. On behalf of the entire Women in the World team, I want to thank everybody. It has been such an extraordinary 3 days, so moving and so powerful. One of the things I feel strongly at the end of it is that the world is as important in our name as the women, right? I mean, we have really been taken in this global adventure in the last 3 days, this extraordinary odyssey where we've met so many extraordinary women from so many places, telling these stories, hearing about cultures and what's happening in parts of the world like Australian detention camps, or the white supremacists, and at the same time meeting inspiring people like Justin Trudeau, and like, of course, last night, Hillary Clinton, who was on such extraordinary form. She was on fire. I mean, just on fire last night. To see that rock and roll of that amazing brain let loose last night was so refreshing and so exhilarating. One person said to me in the green room, which I loved, it was like the Oscars, and suddenly we realized we'd opened the wrong envelope. And it kind of was like that, because you suddenly thought, wow, here's this mind that was able to play over the entire foreign policy spectrum with such rigor. It was just a delight to listen to, and thrilling and great that she brought all of that to Women in the World, and that was her first interview since the election. So this was a tribute really to all of you too, because she has come to Women in the World every year since the beginning except one, and she saved her interview for us, which was really a tribute to all of the supporters that she knows come and see her every year. I'd like to thank our brilliant moderators too, because each one of them was better than the next, and they all give up their time. They all have news shows to do, columns to write, other things they could be doing, and they all come voluntarily and want to be here, and I'm really tremendously grateful to them. I'm very grateful to the Women in the World co-hosts who all helped me throughout with their ideas and thoughts. We're also, of course, profoundly generous to appreciative of our generous sponsors who, without them, none of this could happen each year. The contributions of each one help make this year's summit exceptional. Thank you always to Toyota, our presenting sponsor, cherished sister in arms for 6 years now. It was wonderful to see all those mothers of invention in that video, I thought, and to see how that movement has grown, thanks to Toyota. Our leadership sponsors, AARP, AT&T, the Boston Consulting Group, MasterCard, P&G, and the Rockefeller Foundation deserve our gratitude, as does our supporting sponsors, Ford Foundation, PepsiCo, and Thomson Reuters. And many thanks again to the Walton Family Foundation, Gender Fair, and the Tory Burch Foundation for their helping hand. So let's all give them a round of applause. And finally, let me thank all the people behind the scenes, the Women in the World team, who just totally rock. They just do. It takes so much energy and thought and wrangling and rigor and work and late nights and solving of a million crises behind there to bring out the show in the sort of smooth manner that it ran. And I could not be more grateful to those fantastic colleagues at Women in the World. Leading that effort are our founding executive producer, Kyle Gibson, and director, Leonard Follier, who I'd just like to bring out for a bow. Oh, sweetheart. Okay. And the capable, extraordinary senior supervising producer and senior editor, Gina Kim. Where are you, Gina? No, she's not coming out. And also deserving of high praise are magnificent video producers, Point Studio, Suzanne Paxton and Josette Persson. So thank you all for being here. Many of you traveled long distances to join us, and we're truly grateful. I hope you take with you a sense of what's possible, this commitment to engage, this being an enemy of complacency, which every one of the women on our stage have been. They have all said, I'm getting out there and doing something, not waiting for someone else to do it for them. Just such resistance and such resilience. I hope you have sort of absorbed some of it and feel that you're raring to go. Let's remember the inspiring words that you heard on stage after the few days, including some of you may remember the amazing Laisha Sweeting's extraordinary courageous poems, Felicia Saunders' loving and forgiving spirit, Donna Hubbard's resilience and activist passion. I love some of the things that First Minister Nicola Sturgeon said about, let anybody tell you that because of where you come from, you can't go on and achieve what you want to achieve. Don't think that inwardly you might be terrified about something, so you shouldn't do it. You can overcome that and follow your dreams and be true to yourself. That's really been true of everyone we've had here. All the women on the stage have stood up for something and are standing up for something. And in many cases, they face down terrors that are so much bigger than anything that we can even imagine. I mean, think about the Yazidis this morning, the story that we heard. It just broke the heart. Shireen Ibrahim, who was on our stage, what an extraordinary act of courage to come here and tell us about the absolute horror and barbarity of what has happened to the Yazidis. We have been able to spotlight that story now for 3 years running because we're determined to make people understand what is still happening to this people without any change in their circumstances. And they remind us that our freedoms had to be fought for, as Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said. He said, freedoms don't happen by accident. It takes deliberate, positive leadership to make the choice to not take the easy way out and do difficult things. And speaking of Justin Trudeau, let's remember it's not just about women. It is about men and the sons that we raise to respect women as they should be. And I have been so thrilled to have so many men participate this year and come in the audience. More. Next year, please bring your brother, bring your son, bring your father. We love having women in the world. So over the past few days, not only have you learned the stories of remarkable women, you've also learned the stories of the world itself, how we must be engaged with the world, as Meryl Streep said 2 years ago. And so now we're going to send you out with a song that we open with, our parting gift to you. Please welcome once again with her Women's March anthem, joined again by the Columbia University Non Sequitur a cappella and the Columbia Metronomes with the Women's March anthem, Quiet Milk.